So delighted to have joining the show ahead of this weekend as the San Francisco 49ers travel to SoFi to take on the Los Angeles Rams. Again, one of the new members of this 49ers defense going into this season, Yetur Gross-Matos. Yetur, thank you so much for taking the time out to join us. Just starting off with how you guys are all feeling coming off the back of that defeat at Minnesota last week, having to go on the road again. What's the atmosphere in the building been like this week?
I speak for myself. I mean, I'm hungry. I want to do whatever I can to help this team win, and it's a great opportunity to come back in the area, come out to LA, play in that arena, and take over.
I'm intrigued from your perspective, obviously coming into the season, having the injuries you've had, not being able to necessarily play the snaps that you'd want to have played so far, but you're back, you're full practice now, and are we expecting a full workload against the Rams this weekend for you?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm healthy. The rotation is based off the coaches, so I'll do whatever I can to put myself in a better position.
So what does that defensive line look like now we're going to have you in rotation as well? Because it feels like that opportunity to rotate more guys in and get a bit of fresh legs out there could make a real difference compared with a week where we saw maybe a bit of difficulty getting to the quarterback last weekend.
Yeah, I think coach does a great job of rotating guys in, keeping rushers fresh. So, when my opportunity comes, I got to make the most of it, affect the quarterback.
What's it been like coming into this building, working with a defense which has been one of the best in the NFL over the last few years, and particularly on that line with guys like Javon Hargrave, like particularly Nick Bosa, guys who have been at the very top of their game over the last 4 or 5 years?
It's awesome. I learned from everybody, and the two guys you mentioned have also been great. Teaching and passing on knowledge to everybody in the room. So, just taking bits and pieces of everybody's game, trying to add it to my own.
There's also been a lot of talk about Fred Warner in particular. Despite the loss this past weekend, huge amount of, we're only 2 weeks into the season. I know people can overreact, but I've heard the word Defensive Player of the Year thrown around a lot. I'm not going to lie, including by myself on social media. Talk to me about how unbelievable he's been to work with in your first year with the team.
Yeah, I think unbelievable is the right word. I've been around a lot of guys who take the ball away, but never, it's just like, damn, it's every day. You know what I mean? It's every day in practice, and then to see it translate to the game it's not even really a surprise. So, yeah, it's awesome to see, though. It's awesome to be around. It's awesome to see.
Has there been any advice that he's passed on to you as you've come in there, as you've come in as a guy going into your 5th year in the league and coming into this defensive room? Because as a leader in that locker room, it feels like he has like a real sense of everyone around him. When we've spoken to him, like, you could ask about any guy and he seems to know everything that's going on with them. So what's he been like with you as a leader, and what advice has he given you?
Man, just being around Fred, man, he's juiced up. He's the same guy every day. He's juiced up every day. He's passionate about this football. And, just looking at him on a day-to-day basis, it's easy to see why he has this kind of success that he does.
It's a Rams team you're facing this weekend who have their own injury worries on the offensive line in particular. Matt Stafford has been under a lot of pressure over the first few weeks. Do you guys see that stuff on film and get excited about what the prospect is for you guys come Sunday?
Man, I mean, I know anyone who goes out there on Sunday is ready to play. So, no matter what the matchup is, you got to bring yours and, live for the results.
And I honestly, I was just saying this to Isaac, but I don't know if you've ever experienced a road crowd like it, but I've been in SoFi for a 49ers road game, and I think you're going to be amazed how much red there is in the stands. They call it Levi South for a reason, and hopefully this is like an extra home game for you guys this weekend.
Yeah, I'm excited to experience it. I've heard about it. I haven't gotten a chance to experience it myself, but I'm looking forward to it.
Love that. So thank you so much for your time, Yetur. We really, really appreciate it. Best of luck for this weekend, and hopefully coming away 2-1 and moving on.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much for your time.
Welcome back to the channel, talkSPORT End Zone, your dedicated NFL YouTube channel. And this Sunday night, live on talkSPORT 2, 49ers go to, Levi South, as it's affectionately known, SoFi Stadium to take on the Los Angeles Rams. I'm delighted to say that new cornerback of the San Francisco 49ers, Isaac Yetur's with us. Isaac, how are you doing today, sir?
Doing good. How are you?
Yeah, not complaining, thank you. Not complaining. Look, talk to me a little bit about the atmosphere around the building off the back of that loss to the Vikings last week, and what the kind of message to you guys from the coaches has been.
Positive. Everybody moving on to the next opponent. we know we got a good team. So it's part of the NFL. You win some, you lose some. You just got to win more than you lose.
And from your kind of perspective, what we saw last weekend from the defence and the fact that there was a bit of struggle getting pressure up front, bit of difficulty on the back end. There's not been a huge amount of blitzing from this defence this year. It's been a lot more kind of stacking, foregoing out there and dropping a lot. And so do you feel like this week you are looking at putting, with an offensive line in the Rams that looks decimated, a bit more pressure on the quarterback? Is that something you guys have been able to focus on and something that you've seen on film you're going to be able to be more capable of this week?
I can't say much about that yet right now yet. I just know that we're just trying to go back to playing what we do best, being on the same page, communicating and playing our style of football, which is being on the same page and going out there playing tough, stopping the run, stopping the pass, and dominating our opponent. So we just try and go back to our fundamentals and do what we do best, which is dominating the man in front of us.
For you personally, I mean, you had a great opening game against the Jets. You had that key pass breakup. You looked excellent in coverage. This past week, we had some real difficulty on those kind of key money downs. Sam Darnold's finding his guy and a few big deep shots downfield. So what have you guys focused on as a secondary working on for going into this week? Again, considering Rams are pretty banged up at receiver, what are you guys working on looking forward to this Sunday?
Just being on the same page with everything we do and going back to communicating and playing our style of football, playing technique, and just winning, beating our opponent. That's all it is.
What about the young guys in that room with you? Ronaldo Green getting some snaps this week. Malik looked, I thought, excellent in the first two games. What can you tell us about coming in and working with those rookies in your first year in San Francisco?
They ready, you know what I mean? They ready to play, so we excited to get them on the field, get them more snaps. They gonna help us win, so we're just trying to make sure they come along behind us, follow along us, and get them ready to win too.
You came from plenty of great divisional games in your career prior to now. NFC South, plenty of big rivalries, but this NFC West, teams play each other super hard. What have the guys told you who've been in that locker room for a while about what it's like to go and play at SoFi, what this relationship is like with the Rams, and with Sean McVay throwing so much fun stuff at you potentially, what it's like facing this team?
Yeah, they got a good quarterback, and at the end of the day, it's a division game, so a division game is always a must-win, so we know they're going to bring it, and we're going to bring it too.
I promise you, Isaac, the atmosphere there, the 49ers fans travel unbelievably well. And, Minnesota, we saw it a little bit. We saw some patches of red. I promise you, come Sunday, there is going to be a sea of red inside that stadium, and it will feel like a home game. And hopefully that guy will give you guys a massive lift going into week 3.
I'm excited, and I can't wait.
Let me ask you what you've seen on the other side of the ball as well. Tough week for the offense this week, tough week for Brock Purdy. What have you seen from that young man and his approach coming in off the back of the loss this week and as a leader in that locker room?
Everybody's positive, like I said earlier. Everybody's positive. I don't think that one loss defines us. If anything, that's a compliment that everybody's panicking after one loss because they know how good of a team we are. So we know that we're not panicking because we know we're going to go out and finish the rest of the season the way we know how to finish the rest of the season.
Well, man, I'm excited to see what you do this weekend. Looking forward to see the game with the Rams live on talkSPORT 2. Really appreciate your time.
Thank you.